Hello everyone, my name is Wade the Wallaby, and welcome back to another recording. Okay, so, you're wondering why I'm outside. Well, the temperature is at 10:09 on a Monday. It is 27 degrees out, and it will go down to 25 Fahrenheit, not Celsius. I see some steam over there. Not steam deck, just steam over there. Like literal steam. Um, and as you may know, I like the night and the cold. Actually, because there's no bugs around. And I'm just using my iPad mini camera. Oh no, I'll be right back. How lucky is that? Well, I guess I'll be waiting inside then. My main goal was to, be outside. But apparently, some things went wrong, obviously. I'll just be inside for about, I don't know, 5 minutes or something. My dad's sleeping downstairs, so I have to be quiet. And yes, my dad lives here now, which is good or bad. There's some pros and cons. But yeah, my main goal was to play my Steam Deck outside, but don't worry, it shouldn't be a problem. So what's happening? What has been happening? Well, apparently, me and my mom went to Union Station for the second time. I think we went there on a Tuesday last week, if I recall. I don't remember. And the last time I was there was probably before 2007, because that's when my mom got cancer in January, February, March. Maybe March? January, February, maybe March, because it's like early 2007. That's when she was diagnosed with cancer. I don't know. If I mess it up, I will put a correction card or whatever you do that, or in the description. But yeah, it's... So, what is Union Station? Well, if you're not familiar, it's in St. Louis. That one in Kansas City. There is one called Union Station in Kansas City. But no, the one in St. Louis, which as you may know, I live in Belleville, and it's not that far from St. Louis. I think it's like, I don't know, less than 20 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers. I don't know. I'm not into kilometers or Celsius. But I do know that 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And 100 degrees Celsius is 112 degrees Fahrenheit. I think. I'm not too sure. But yes, I'm in my room, of course. This is my closet. Get good memories. Mostly toys I've had when I was like, 10 years old. That was like 10 years ago. Oh my gosh, it's like... Actually, 15 years ago. Maybe even more. Maybe from, 2001 to, 2020. That's actually been a stretch. Maybe about 2015. No, it was 2018. It seems like I stopped. I don't know. Does it really matter? I don't know. My dad would be like, who cares? That's his favorite word. No one cares. But also, let me know if you guys want me to talk about Werewolf the Apocalypse stories, because I have some cool stories. Would you want me to keep my stories private, or do you want me to expand on another live stream? Now, the reason why I haven't done anything live streaming is because the microphone I haven't used. The last time I used it was that live stream. Ever since then, I haven't properly set it up yet. because of the cable. However, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to jinx myself. Actually, no, there is a special treat. I will tell you this. There will be an upcoming recording. I was going to do a live stream, but I can't live stream mobilely because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. So in the meantime, I'm just going to have to record. Plus, if there's sensitive information, I can quickly act because I have no idea what to expect. I don't know if it's going to start jumbly and stuff, but I will give it some time and let it boot up. If it doesn't go back to normal within 24 hours, then I might just take it to the Apple Store. And since I mentioned that, it is an Apple product and it has been not been used since 2017. Yeah. And you're asking yourself, why? Well, apparently, my dad gave this MacBook Pro to my mom because, I don't know, because he didn't want it anymore. Now, apparently, the MacBook Pro is from late 2013. How I know this is because I put the serial number in the Apple thing, the website, Apple website, and apparently it says late 2013, which makes sense, that's crazy. That means this thing is like over 10 years old. And how I know this, I did look up that these laptops had GPU problems. I thought it was video card, but apparently Copilot says GPU. So, I have no idea. Ground power unit or graphics card? I don't know. I should know this stuff. Wade, you're a glasswalker werewolf from Werewolf the Apocalypse. You should know these things, Wade. It almost feels like I'm live streaming because I'm watching, but no, this is a recording. So when I upload this, now some of you people do like my live streams more than my recordings. That's fine, but I will try my best to get a live stream going. I just haven't been interested. No. I would love to live stream. I try live streaming on a laptop, but for some reason it just doesn't work properly. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong. But yeah. I love Werewolf the Apocalypse. I love it. And my mom was like, I like the classical werewolves. I'm like, really? Really? You like, well, actually, she doesn't like them. She goes to the traditional rules because she's like, oh, werewolves, they're like a curse, it hurts when you transform and you have no control. No, there are two references that werewolves are not aggressive. Twilight and Werewolf the Apocalypse. Well, because apparently it's a bit confusing because in Werewolf the Apocalypse you don't have to change on full moon. You literally can change at any time, at anywhere, and sometimes when you're angry you actually transform. It's basically badass than even the Sims 4 werewolves, which I still love because it's werewolves. Hell, at least they don't look like the Sims 3 werewolves. Yeah, I know, right? I'm sure you're probably looking them up. Yeah. They look so, I don't know, wolf-like. Okay, first of all, what the hell? Why did we humans, I'm saying myself, because in reality I am a human. That doesn't mean I go into my bed and transform into lupus form, or a war form at 15 feet tall, or Krynos, I should say, or Krynos. But no, that's not reality. What is with the Mothman sightings in Illinois? I think it's just clickbait. Well, I will tell you one thing. When we're at the roundabout, right next to Circle K, we saw a shadow. And my mom was joking, was the Mothman. Was that the Mothman we keep saying? But I was like I don't know, 3 years ago or 2 years ago? How about I'll get banned on Discord because I did that, but I don't know how to change the title. Really don't mean to be racist. Sorry, it was the original file because it was actually me to my mom, but I decided to upload it because apparently it was 2 days after I got banned. Oh, man. I really don't mean, because that was like many years ago. That was like on February 23rd of 2023. And my mouth is dry from me talking. What was I talking about? Oh, great. Now I missed it. I think it should be clear outside. You know what? Let me see how much. 10 minutes. Okay. Well, no, we were talking about werewolves. Well, we were, Wade. We were. Don't make fun of my... So, yeah, I completely forgot. If it was a live stream, I would have went back into my recording. But no, this is not. Wade, stop it. This is not how it works. Alright, let's move outside. Hopefully those dogs don't bark. I do apologize, but there's nothing I could do. And now we need to get some water, so you have to be quiet because my dad is right downstairs. Looks like they're gone. I'm gonna get some water. Just give me a moment. Alright. I have to be quiet because my dad is sleeping. He's got work tomorrow. And there's Simon, my cat, right there on the edge of the bed. Okay. All right. So, yeah, Union Station. Yeah, it's originally. So, Union Station, yeah, it was actually fun. The restaurant there, well, it's called the Station Restaurant. I forgot what it is. It's right, like, on the left as soon as you go into the aquarium. Well, not the aquarium itself, but it says the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. Whatever. So, it was like, the only thing that was actually 10 out of 10 was the ravioli. The ravioli was fantastic, but they wanted $13. $13. So it's, wow, $13. And I think we spent like $40 or $40. I think we did. I don't remember. The cheeseburger, the bacon was well cooked. It wasn't like crispy, but I don't know. It didn't have that pizzazz into it. I would rate the cheeseburger with bacon plain. The only thing that came with it was, I even said, do not add in pickles. And of course, I guess they didn't get the word out. And he's like, oh, I don't want pickles. The music was Christmassy, and I didn't like that because, yeah, I can't believe that actually happened today because technically it's not 12 o'clock yet. So, yeah, and we left, so it closes at 6, and we left at 5:10, I think we did. But yeah, they did turn down the music, and after that, me and my mom were just socializing. And the fries were very different. Fries were okay. I would give it a 9 out of 10. But the cheeseburger and all, the bacon was 10 out of 10. However, I would rate it an 8 out of 10 because it was very slippery. And the cheese, I don't know, cheese was just too cooked. I don't like cheese when it's melted. I don't like melted cheese. I guess it's an autism thing. Or a guy thing. I don't like greasy cheese. I just make sure it, I don't know, just makes it, stronger. Because I'm a very clean eater. I don't like to make messes. I always make sure there's no mess on the plate. I don't know, it's an OCD thing probably. Or an autism thing. I've been doing this ever since I've been born. Yes, I'm a clean eater. A werewolf would just lick on the plate. But wait, you're a wallaby. Why do you eat meat? Well, I'm not just a wallaby. I'm also a werewolf, so that explains everything. But in real life, that's impossible because it's just fantasy. And it's really difficult for me to try to put astronomy Actually, astronomy does fit with Werewolf the Apocalypse because the names like Gaia. Remember, I made that live stream about the Gaia, about me playing Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, and it mentioned Gaia, and I'm like, Gaia, I think it's a spacecraft. You're correct, Wade. Don't worry, I did comment on that and put where the Wikipedia page, because I did mention Ibex, and I did also too, if you want to learn more about the Gaia spacecraft. It's GIAI, or is it GAIA? It's GIAI. Guy, or I don't know, I'm saying it wrong, but I did say it twice, different versions, so if I get the wrong one, you'll get the right one. But it's, now of course, series, in Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, there was one werewolf spirit, fortunately died in the I have no idea. You know, the game doesn't, make the time frame. It's just very confusing. And it's just like, what year is it? Like, is it 2020 in the year, or is it like 2030? Because the dates are completely jumbled. Now, I understand it probably had more detail if they cut a lot of the content on it. But seriously, I have no idea. The music is just, except for the hard music, it's just, my favorite is the platform. That one is really good. It's almost like, so yes, if I ever do a mission, it's going to be Lunar Prospector. That's going to be awesome, because not very many people talk about Lunar Prospector, so I designed it as the best I could using a real-life picture on Wikipedia. But yeah, back to Union Station. Unfortunately, as soon as we went to the mirror maze, they were turning off the lights and closing. And I go, well, I guess it. And also, my mom forgot her food because I basically ran across the entire station halfway, from the inside. I think the heater's on. Is that what that noise is? Yeah, the vent's up there. Actually, there's a fireplace and a vent for the exhaust for the and my mom was like, that furnace doesn't have natural gas. I'm like, really? I literally see flame. So it's either way, it's propane or natural gas, or it's nothing, because there's no way a flame could work. Yeah. And then she's like, well, the boiler has a flame. Some boilers are not run with the heater. Water heater doesn't have to use it. It's normally electric. Ugh. So yes, we do. My mom's like, we don't need. Oh yeah, really? Look inside the furnace if you don't believe me, Mom. Goddamn. Really, Mom? I'm sorry. I should have been making fun of her. We had a blast. And we're getting some exercise. My goal is to get my mom some exercise. And my dad got a new desk, and it is sick. Unfortunately, I would love to take a picture with him working, but he's camera shy. I don't know why. Maybe because he is very secretive. I don't know. He's a strange person, I will tell you that. But when he's in a good mood, he is hilarious. And if I have problems, I go to him. I hope George Lucas doesn't beat my ass. And you're probably wondering, why did I say that? Well, it's actually something I made. I don't want to talk about it because someone will steal it. Now, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I like Star Trek better because, it's realistic. Most of it doesn't breaks the laws of physics, and a lot of things do explain themselves, so don't get me started with Star Trek lore. I really need to watch Home Soil again because my favorite quote is, ugly bags is mostly water. It's my favorite. You know what's weird? Okay, so we're all carbon based. I'm sure you're familiar with that. So what about silicon? So how would a silicon creature, or even if it's a creature, it's an entity, how do they even reproduce? I mean, they're literally made out of rock, or crystals, I should say. I mean, like quartz. It just imagine seeing quartz having little tiny little quartz, little crystals of quartz, and then they grow. Actually, that's not far fetched because crystals grow in certain conditions. The giant crystal cave, well, I forgot what material it is, but it's not quartz. You would think it's quartz, but no. It's also really, really hot down there. Because originally it was water down there, and it made these crystals grow, and when they pumped the water out, they stopped growing. Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with the Crystal Cave. It's not quartz, I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's beautiful. And of course, very, very, very hot. Very hot. And they have to be that way for those giant crystals to form. I got some rocks. Obsidian, too. Obsidian is also from violent explosions. Obsidian is like basically glass. It's basically glass that's dense, and it's actually pretty, as a matter of fact. We got lots of granite, giant granite rocks from a rock pile place, and I definitely got some quartz, or some maybe. I'm not an expert at rocks. I'm probably a geologist, and he'd be like, "Yep, that's quartz." Or it's something else, because there's like purple stuff. It's beautiful, beautiful rocks. Wait, do you like rocks? Yeah, because every rock tells a story, including asteroids. It almost reminds me of the paws that tell a story. It's like every time you walk, it's kind of a bit, not fetish, it's just surreal, I should say, or addictive? As you may know, I do like paw pads, but, yeah, just kind of got a little awkward sometimes. Sometimes it's not, and then I realize, oh, this is kind of a bit weird, and I get embarrassed of myself. But like, I cannot believe I like this shit, and it's just like, how you feel when you just are into that, and then all of a sudden, just your mind switches? Let me know in the comments if you feel that way. It's almost like my eyes are being blackened, like I'm covering my identity. But no, it's just because but yeah, my blue eyes. Why would I even block out my beautiful blue eyes? I'm so happy I didn't do that anymore. Because back in the day, I used to actually have sunglasses to protect my identity. But then I realized, hey, that's just a lot of struggle. So I decided, hey, I have blue eyes. I'm beautiful. Why keep your identity safe? I'm sure you've seen me before. That's good. I've been talking a long time with nonsense. I did not even zip up. I'm actually getting hot. Maybe because me talking with nonsense. And like yesterday, it was really windy. Really, really windy. But back to Union Station. I know I'm jumping all over the place. ADHD, autism. It's a hard mix. And apparently, their ice cubes did not melt. They were literally like cubes, and they were like beautiful. And I was like, oh, Mom, we should take this at home. I did love the ravioli. I would love to go back. I know they're like $13. I would not eat the cheeseburger again unless, but only rich people. And as you may know, we're not technically rich. I mean, we're stable now since my dad's living here. We are saving $400 to $500 per month of my dad's rental in Montana. And now he's here, so I don't have to complain about him in Montana. He doesn't live there anymore. He lives here now, and he will live for the rest of our lives. We're a family again. The pack is still together, just like a werewolf. I mean, werewolves live together in tribes, and they stick together, unless if, they exile someone, but unless they turn into a black spiral dancer, then there's no hope for that wolf yet. I'm surprised there's no Werewolf the Apocalypse movie. Now, if you like vampires, Vampire Masquerade is the same universe called the World of Darkness, where werewolves of the apocalypse. Now, of course, me being a Belleville, I don't think a werewolf would appreciate, but there are some forests. But in real life, the only wolves that exist in this area, there's only one place in Missouri that I think of that's called Eureka. It's where Six Flags is. Six Flags is having a hard time because, yeah, their prices are up. I feel bad. But yeah, in Eureka, it's called Tyson Research, and basically it's for St. Louis University research. Yes, they do their research on the bluff, which used to be storage for the Army or the Air Force. Probably the Army for the Cold War. Yeah, I know, right? I bet there was a Nike missile site. As a matter of fact, someone actually did comment on the Nike missile site 90. No raccoons yet. They're not scared of me. What on Wallaby Earth? But yeah, there are only wolves, not werewolves. And there's red wolves especially. It's called the Endangered Wolf Center. I always keep mixing it up with the Wolf Conversation Center, which is not in Missouri. It is in New York. Way over there. That's like, I've never been to New York. I never been to New York. I only been to South or maybe North Carolina, mostly South Carolina, but I've never been to Florida. I mean, come on, I've been from yeah, isn't it crazy? Maybe I did like partially go to California. No. Maybe New Mexico? No. I do know that we went to Arizona and Nevada, so I will tell you that. Because that was in December of 2014 for my Christmas present. Wolf Quest Anniversary Edition. Oh, yeah. I'm sure my mom would like that. Actually, if it was a horse, I think my mom would definitely be interested. But yeah, actually, speaking of horses, yes, we were horseback riding in the desert. I love those pictures. I even mentioned them in the live stream I did. And there's Mom riding on the horse. Yeah, I'm sorry, but my mom was fat. And look at my mom now. She is so looking good. And people call my mom young lady, which is actually polite. You know, even though my mom is going to be on her birthday on November 14. So, yeah. It's going to be awesome. November 14. So, yeah, if you guys want to hang out on live streams, or I should say, not live stream, we'll probably go out somewhere. I don't know. My mom's favorite place is Cracker Barrel. Of course. But, yeah. I've been talking a long time. A lot of things have been happening. I know. I should be live streaming more often. And but thank you for the comment there mentioning more information. If you have information of SL-90 missile silo, Nike missile site in Kansas, no, not Kansas City. That's right next to the park over the Bluff Park. Let me know if you have any information, because I would love to learn more to keep this information, public, because there is one in Sky Force Base, but it's actually with the command center, which makes sense since Sky Force Base is, military, and it is in Belleville. Belleville's huge. It is a big city. If you look on the map, it is big. And mostly it's spreading left to right. But wait, have you been in Sky Force Base? Yes, as a matter of fact, inside of it. And you'd be like, oh, did you see? Actually, it was because it was a open house. They were doing air shows there. But yeah, actually this coat here is actually for my grandpa. My mom's dad. Sadly, he died in November of 1999, or was October. It's crazy, because that was about when Half-Life Opposing Force came out. He died before Half-Life Opposing Force came out, so... Shut up, Logitech. I should unsubscribe and hey, whatever. They're good people. You should see my dad's monitor. It's curved. Isn't it cool? I'm so jealous. He says he has a Steam account, and I'm like, and I don't have one. It's Steam. Ugh, whatever. And he's like, I won't never play with you because you don't have the games. I don't play. What the heck, you, Dad? That's horrible. Most of my friends, every time I even talk to them, they most likely are number 1, trolls, number 2, scammers, or number 3, I talk to them and they block me. And I get depressed. But yeah. But yes, I think we should wrap it up here. It's been 30 minutes, and it will take a while for it to upload. But yes, I was actually happy, experiencing something, But I will tell you one thing about Union Station. I do remember a long time ago, almost 20 years, as a matter of fact, it could be 20 years, when I was just a little kid, before 2007, I did remember that there were boats in that lake. They're replaced with flames now. With fire dancing, fire, which is of course natural gas, because it's, it's natural gas, because obviously it's definitely not propane, because it would be too expensive. But if it's natural gas, it probably is easy with shoot bursts, or just a continuous flame. If you don't know what natural gas is, it's mixed with methane, propane, and other waste gases, such as gases that are basically off products, byproducts of factories or mining equipment. Actually, not the coal mine. That's different. Maybe. I don't know. My mom knows that coal mine was very clean. There was no methane. Actually, there was a tiny bit. As a matter of fact, in a coal mine, it's very quiet when there's no loud continuous miner, which those things are very loud, apparently. Over 100 decibels. But if you're alone with your hard hat, the only sounds you hear is sizzling, and that's air pockets. Isn't that crazy? It's like, oh, coal mine, you're making the planet terrible. No. I'm thankful that YouTube allows me to remove that little tag there. So thank you, YouTube. I think YouTube is starting to act professional. Or I should say snowflakes, but no, they're doing okay. Except for changing the thing, but... pussies. And I'm like, my favorite quote to my mom is if she knows something and it's really... for example, when we were leaving from the hospital, it was doctor's appointment. That's private information. I'll just say a hospital, okay? There was and I was like, why did it detect me? There's the security post, the metal detector. I'm like, why did it detect me? A month ago when I last was here with my Steam Deck and my iPad. And it went off. And my mom was like, well, apparently there's a tuning. You tune that. I'm like, how do you know that? Did you date a guy? Oh, man. That made my mom laugh when we left from Pierre Marquette coming back home from Grafton. And because it's an hour drive. And the bald eagles were everywhere. And that was in January, yeah. And bald eagles were everywhere because it was at the right time. And there was something to do with barges or something. And she's like, oh, that's supposed to do with the barges. And I'm like, how do you know that? Did you date a guy? And she laughed her shit off. I gotta be quiet. It's pretty late out. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10:43. Anyways, a little bit of happy ending, I should say. I hear rustling. Well, I'm gonna get ready to stop recording. So if you have any questions, comment, do whatever you want. Hell, you can even unsubscribe. I bet you never heard of that word before. You can literally do whatever you want. It's your choice. It won't make me sad if you leave. It's your choice. You can always come back. It's not permanent.